No,
we're
thank
good.
you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. We'll just do it from the front.
Yeah, it's either.
Okay. You asked the question.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your name and last name?
My name now is Rena Quint. It used to be Rena Globe, but I had 6 names from the time that I was born. I was born Fredja Lichtenstein, and my Yiddish name was Fredel. And then I was hidden as a boy, so my name was Froim. And then I was adopted in Sweden after the war and was Fanny. I'll tell you all this later. And then it was Francis. Fredel means joy in English. Joy in Hebrew is Rena. So that's how I got
That's
my
so
name.
nice.
So my name is Rena.
That's so cool.
You didn't expect that answer, right?
Wow.
What's your parents' name?
That's also a difficult question. I had 6 mothers. So my biological mother's name was Sarah Messer. She was killed when I was about 5.5 or 6. And then I had 4 other mothers whose names I don't even remember, but they took care of me in the camps. And then I was adopted by a woman in Sweden by the name of Anna. We came to America, she died, and I was adopted by a woman whom your grandmother knew, Leah Globe. And she was my mother for 56 years. She lived till she was 100. So her name was Leah Globe.
What about your father?
I also had 2 fathers. My real father was killed when I was probably about 7 or so. I don't know exactly the dates. And then I was adopted. The same woman, Leah Globe, had a husband, Jacob Globe, and he was my father. He died in 72. But he was they were very good parents to me.
Okay. What country were you born in?
I was born in Poland,
Where in
in the
Poland?
city Pietrków, the same town that Rabbi Lau came from.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So you know
And
him?
I know him, and his father, whom I did not know, was killed at the same time that my mother was killed in Treblinka. And when I read his book is very similar. His story is very similar to mine, except that he had a brother who was able to give him a lot of information, and I didn't have anybody. But I found a tremendous amount of documents and papers and lists. So now that everything I can tell you, I can prove, including that I was born. I found my birth certificate. Before that, I really,
Wow.
every mother gave me a different
Birthday.
birthday.
His son is the chief rabbi Modine.
I met him 2 weeks ago at an Amuna dinner, and I had just found out, amazing, just a few weeks ago, that Rabbi Meir Shapiro, do you know that name? He started Daf Yomi, and he started Hachmei Lublin Yeshiva that you're going to be in. And maybe I'll give you the paper, because I have his signature. He married my biological parents. And he went to build Chachmei Lublin Yeshiva, which is now a little shul again, and Rabbi Lau came in.
That's so special.
So when I saw Rabbi David Lau, I told him that story.
Wow. So clear. And the questions are here, so just...
She saved them on her phone. Next question
Can I
is, do you know when your birthday, you said you know when your birthday is now.
Yeah, I was adopted in Sweden after I was liberated from Bergen-Belsen, and the little girl died, so I got her birthday. Her mother had gotten tickets to come to America, and when her daughter died, she took me. So her birthday is February 15, 1936. I just had a birthday 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And in 1989, when I went back to Poland, I found my real birthday, which I have, which shows you December 18th, 1935, which only makes me 2 months older, but it's a different year.
So which birthday do you celebrate?
Both.
Why not?
That's so cool.
But on my passport and all my papers, it's February 15th, because that's the one that I got in 1945. And you can't change your birthday in the middle. But this is when I found my real birthday, and you can see, you'll be able to take these pictures with your camera too. With that.
Yeah.
This you can see the date. Am I pointing to the right place?
1950, yeah.
1989.
Here, I'll take a,
1989, yeah.
That's when I found it.
That's very cool.
and I'll just take a picture so we all can put in the picture.
I don't know how to do that either.
We'll also teach you that.
That's what we're here for. Okay. Yeah. That is very, very cool.
To send text. How to take picture.
Okay.
Different subject.
Okay. Now I can't see what you read anymore, so.
Where did you put those, into memos or something?
No, my camera.
Oh. Oh. But you can also write questions in memos, I heard, or in...
Yeah, this I just, we have, it's paper.
Okay.
Okay, so the question, you told us where you grew up in the town.
Didn't really grow up there. I lived, I was born in Pietrków,
Right?
and the first ghetto that was established when the Germans came into Poland in September of '39 was Pietrków. So we lived in the Jewish section. So between the ages of, I was about 3.5 when the ghetto started. So I lived in the ghetto. But when I was about 5.5 or 6 or something of that sort, I don't know exactly, there was a big action where all the women and children and older people were taken to Treblinka. So I escaped. I'll tell you how. And then after that, I lived in camps. So I can't say I lived in that town.
You were
I was
born
just
there. Okay, so that actually is up to the next question. Can you tell us a little bit about your childhood?
I can't tell you too much about a real childhood. The only nice thing that I remember is that I had 2 brothers, David and Yossi, and I don't remember my mother giving me a kiss on Shabbos. I don't remember my father giving me a bracha, or eating matzah, or being in a sukkah, or playing games, or things like that. But I do remember that my 2 brothers my mother used to make a big pot filled with meat, potatoes, beans, and barley every Friday, and my brothers would put me on a sled to the bakery, and would bake there all night, and on Shabbos we'd bring back the chalt. I don't remember too many nice things after that. When I was about 5.5 or 6, something like that, in 1942, there was a big action. And my father and maybe many of the able-bodied men were taken to slave labor. He worked in a glass factory. And I lived with my mother and my brothers in the ghetto. It got very crowded in the ghetto because people had to move in from different neighborhoods. At one point there was a big action. People were dying from disease, from beatings, from starvation. They didn't have enough food, but they weren't dying fast enough. And so the Germans came in, breaking down with guns and with clubs and machetes and all kinds of things, whips, and pulled us out. And we were taken to the synagogue. We were marched through, we were herded through the street until we got to this big place. It's now a library, and I have pictures of that also. But inside you can see pictures of the Aron Kodesh with the bullet holes still there. And I can't explain how this happened, but in the library, and I was just a little girl, I was with my mother and my brothers and thousands of other people. There was a door, like you have in any shul, and there was a man on the other side of the door. And he beckoned to me. I think he was my uncle, but I'm not sure. And he told me to run. And I was very stupid, I was very naive. Maybe my mother pushed me, maybe God. I don't know how it happened, but I ran out. And that was the last time that I saw my mother and brothers. And all the other people, including Rabbi Lau's father, they were all taken to Treblinka, where you will probably be. And now it's an open field with some slabs to walk in like railroad cars, and then they're big open pits where their bodies were burned because they didn't have enough crematorium. When you go to Auschwitz and Majdanek, there you see the crematorium where They could get rid of 5,000 bodies a day, but in Treblinka they were just burned outside. That was the last time I saw my mother and my brothers. They were taken to their death. Can you turn that off for a second?
Sure.